Beautiful people, how are you doing today? Based on some feedback I received, I think I need to further clarify on what assumptions that I was referring to, or assumptions in general. Assumptions are like a piece of cake to me. It can be given, sometimes it can be assumed based on a situation, based on things that you hear. And you can assume those assumptions if you want, or you can seek clarifying information by simply asking a question, by simple investigation, by a simple inquiry. But some people are more than willing to assume assumptions, to take on somebody else's battle based on information that were just kind of given without asking these kind of questions. Hey, what happened? Hey, what's going on? That can be because of communication, that can be because of time, that can be because of distance, and because you simply just don't care and you're just willing to take it up and run with it. People have assumptions about themselves. Some people feel they're too fat, some people feel they're too skinny, some people feel they're too dumb. And once you take on those assumptions turn into beliefs, your beliefs turns into actions, and your actions turns into your very existence, starting from a simple assumption. So assumptions are a pretty powerful thing, depending on how you use it within your life. Assumptions can be pretty crippling, because again it leads to your belief, and if you believe in this negative thing about yourself or this negative thing about a certain person, you tend to act according to these things. Tend to prophesy, self prophesy in your life. You don't believe that you're equipped, educated. You just act in accordance to that role. If you say a thing or do a thing consistently, it becomes, there is power in the word. So you definitely have to be careful in the assumptions that you kind of take on, things that you kind of believe. Some people tend to, again, be talking about deny their feelings, whether it be accurate or inaccurate, that hey, I'm feeling okay, I'm just it's just me, and they take on that responsibility and not acknowledge the situation and just try to deny it. Well, you're not okay. You're feeling upset, you're feeling hurt, you feel slighted, however that goes. And if you continue to pretend you're not just magically going to be okay, that hurt from that situation is going to manifest in your actions, going to manifest in your conversations, and they have second and third order effects, and that's just going to just compound on each other and create more problems. When it started from a simple thing, a simple situation, a simple assumption, now you have a bigger long lasting effect on things, whether it be separation, divorce, being fired from your job, when sometimes the assumption that you assumed is unrelated to the end action. If you want to bring that, all together. Some people just believe, hey, in a matter of times, things are going to change. Well, things are not necessarily going to change if you don't take the actions to change them. Some people believe that your seasons are going to change. Yes, the seasons may change, but if you don't act according to that season, nothing is going to change. So if you're expecting to get a better job, most jobs ask for a certain level of proficiency. If you don't take the time to gain a new skill, read a new book, do a new task, they're not going to consider you to be qualified for that next position. So some people find themselves in a rut for 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. If you look back at yourself and you are the same person that you were 5 years ago, something might be wrong. And it's not to say that you're not satisfied with yourself, or you shouldn't be satisfied with yourself if you have attained or acquired or whatever it is you want to go, but you can always do better. So we're not talking about not being satisfied, we're talking about growth. We're talking about people that are in stagnant situations, whether it be relationships, whether it be positions in their lives, whether it be jobs. You have to act in due season for you to reap the benefits of your labor. If there is no labor, there is no reward. If there is no planting, there is no toiling, there is no nurturing, there is no fruit. So you're expecting a fruit without doing the actions. You're assuming that things are going to change for you when you are not seeking you're not clarifying, you're not doing things and just holding on to assumptions. And sometimes you just got to take the onus for it. It is you. You have the ability to act on assumptions or not act on assumptions. You have the ability to write the chapters in your book. You don't just take an assumption given by other people. You don't just take an assumption that you believe for yourself. You have to see in your own ability. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe people when they say, hey, I see better in you, I see better for you, and trust someone to help you navigate this crazy thing that we call life. Sometimes you may not see it for yourself, you may not see the next step, but trust the individuals that you have in life, that you put in position. Hopefully you have good people that be like, hey man, go check this guy out, hey, go check this job out, hey, go read this book, hey, eat this instead, or do this instead. You're not going to have all the answers. To assume that you do probably leads to where you at in that stagnation point. So assumptions, be careful what you assume. Be careful of people's baggage, that you just pick up and run with it based on things that they're saying. Understand that you may trust some of these individuals hoping that they would bring good information to you. Somebody brought an assumption to me based on a situation that they had. Hey, I need you to do XYZ. It's like, okay, I need both sides of the information before I just act on it. In a position that I am, I don't take one side of the information. For you to expect that I'm just going to jump on your assumption and act on it, that's not necessarily how this works. In the military, we call that tactical patient situational awareness. However it is you go, you have to develop an entire situation. You have to get an awareness on an entire situation before you run into a decision. Hope that clarified a little bit on the assumptions. That is my 2 cents. What is yours?